My grandfather was a great wizard. He used soil on his father's grave in doing his operations. He used a cat he sent in some operations. Now the demon is in me. This comes after I accepted his shoes in an inheritance distribution ceremony, a mass dance ceremony after everyone's death in our culture. After his death, I saw a crew of old men coming to my dreams in Granie. Hello viewers, welcome once again to another educative episode of African Confessions HD, right here on Extraordinary Africa. My name is Solution Uncle. If you're still new in this show, we publish lifetime confessions. Usually we publish anonymously for their own safety reasons. Listeners, you're having a problem, you're having a challenge, don't go to the forest and commit suicide. Feel free to share your story with us. Don't be shy, don't be afraid. Simply contact us on our WhatsApp number +263 775 597 775 +263 775 597 775. Also, the number is also on Telegram, so don't be shy, don't be afraid. Feel free to share your story with us today. We have two confessions. The first confession of this man who inherited a demon of witchcraft from his grandfather, and this demon is ruining his life. We will be going through the confession. Another confession is of a lady who killed her own sister to take the husband. Said confessions, unbelievable confessions. I don't want to continue waste your time. Let's go straight into the confessions. Yellow Solution Uncle, please hide my identity when you publish. I regret taking this pair of shoes. This pair of shoes has turned my life to be something else. I took the shoes after my grandfather's death. When a person dies in our cultural practices, his or her clothes will be taken and distributed to relatives. This is what I did to the grandfather's clothes. Most of the clothes were given to me. I am the only grandchild who was staying with grandma and grandpa. After mom died in 2005, I have to relocate to the rural area to stay with my grandparents. Other siblings of my father and mother were working in towns, but they didn't care about me. They went and dumped me at the village. I started staying with grandparents. Life was not easy. They were not sending even a cent. Grandpa and grandma were old. I have to hustle to bring food on table for me and them. I stopped going to school. That's life. I got used to it. I always prayed if one day I was going to town and start working a decent job. I started piece jobs when I was still very young. So with time, grandfather died. All the relatives gathered for funeral. After funeral, as per our tradition, the clothes were taken and were supposed to be distributed to the family members so that they can remember the person who is deceased. They gave me most of the clothes because I was the one without parents. Grandfather was like a father to me. He was like a biological father to me. He cared so much for me. There is this pair of shoes he doesn't wear regularly. He doesn't want us to touch those shoes. We thought it was just because he liked his shoes, but now I'm starting to see why he didn't allow us to touch those shoes. I was given the shoes as part of the process. I am now the shoes. With time, grandma passed away. Life went very hard for me. With time, I moved to the city and stayed under the bridge, under the drains. I was suffering in the city until a certain man came and took me to his home. I started working as a gardener, and the man planned to go out of South Africa. He left the country and left the house in my name. Thanks God for giving me this property. Now, as a person who was owning a house, a car, and a small business the owner left in my name, I decided I should find a wife, a God-fearing wife, and then I married my wife. The problem with me is now I am failing to have a child with that wife. We went to a Sangoma. The Sangoma told me there's something in me. I am a wizard. After I visited the Sangoma, I started feeling there was something in my body. The thing was moving. Sometimes it could be in my hand, moving to my feet, moving to my head, moving around my stomach, sometimes at my back. But I felt that thing, especially at night. After feeling that thing, I will be asleep and I won't wake up. I won't hear anything. Even if a haulage truck is moving around my house, I could never hear it. This is the thing which is ruining my life. We went back to the Sangoma in the presence of my wife. The Sangoma started telling me that's the thing which was left in me. But there's this thing which rose a lot of questions to me and my wife. Why all these years I was failing to have a child, but there was no that thing which was moving in and around my body. After visiting the Sangoma, trying to find a solution so that we can have a child, this thing has started moving in and around my body. The person the Sangoma is saying is the spirit which was left in me. But I'm now confused. Is it the spirit or is the Sangoma who has played me and increased all the worries? But for now, that's not the problem which has led me to come here. It started after we visited that Sangoma. I am starting dreaming, wearing those shoes. I will be with elderly men. We are moving from graves, from one grave to another, from funerals to funerals. We will go into the grave of fresh bodies. Then we will share the flesh. We will eat until it is end. So we are going to many funerals. We will be at the funeral, but you won't notice us. We mainly play our part in the board viewing. We go closer. At least one of us will go closer and catch up with the smell of the board which is going to be buried. We will use that smell as password to get inside the coffin and the grave at midnight. This is the witchcraft demon which was left in me by my grandfather. By just wearing and accepting to take his shoes. When grandfather was still alive, he used to go to his father's grave every 4th of May. He told us he would be going to pay respect and remember him since that's the day he passed on. What we did not understand is he returned with the sail from the grave, then pull it all over the yard. He would not eat food for the next 15 days. We became used to it, but as the same is now happening to me, sometimes I dream at his grave doing the same. I will not be feeling want to eat for the next days. This thing is happening to me and is exactly the same which was happening to my grandfather. This is the witchcraft which he left in me, which is pushing me to do all those strange things. Grandfather is a cat he loved more than us humans. The cat used to be a stray animal, but he took it. We tried to discourage him not to keep any animal which was a stray, but he became rude against us. Whenever we talk about it, he would be so angry. At one point, he wanted to chase me away from home because of talking bad about the cat. Grandmother begged him to give me a second chance. Since then, nobody talks about it. Sometimes he could be outside sitting with the cat for hours, especially at night. After his death, the cat just vanished. Now I am seeing the same cat coming to my dreams. It will be crying, making weird sounds, demanding blood. I also blame my father's siblings and my mother's siblings. No one is caring. They are not answering my calls. They are blaming me instead. They are saying you are rich because you used juju. But that's not it. Yes, I agree. I am a wizard. I am killing. I am eating flesh. But please do not scold me. Solution Uncle, notify me when you post. I will be reading the comments. My heart is bleeding. Please help me. I want to get out of this and have a better days and have a happy family. My wife is always by my side. I don't want to disappoint her. Please publish for me anonymously. Yellow Solution Uncle, please withhold my identity when you publish. I regret killing my own blood. I regret killing my own sister. Yes, I killed my sister because of a man. The man was once a boyfriend. They later on broke down, and the man proceeded to me and approached for love. I was carried away by his good looking and wealth status. We later on dated. Our relationship was strong, thanks to my sister for allowing me continue dating her ex. Yes, we were dating. I went to tertiary education. He was always there by me. Prayers with me, everything. He was a good man. I don't know what was happening to my sister by betraying him. Later on, we got married after I finished school. We moved on together, built our own beautiful houses and cars. We have everything we wanted. All of a sudden, my sister was not getting married. He started visiting us so regularly. One day, I caught them naked in my bedroom, and I was not shocked much because there were people who dated some time back. They later on came out openly that they want to get married, meaning to say we were to become in a polygamous marriage, me and my sister and one husband. I accepted it. I love my sister. I love the men. I accepted that they once dated. After we started staying together, the man is staying with my sister more than me, spending weeks with my sister, coming to my house for hours, then going back. This, I started developing that generous status. They were going to overseas countries for holidays. I could be here with my kids. The husband is now not caring at all. This made me to have this feeling. I visited them. They were not suspecting of anything I could do. I used the charm which I was given by a Sangoma. The Sangoma told me that once you go to their house, pour the powder in front of your sister whenever she is sitting. I managed to do that. My sister became mentally ill, went to the train station and hit by a train. This is how I killed my sister over this man. Now he is back. He is now cheating on me with other people, not of my family. This is the worst thing I've done. Killing my own sister, who was with me in troubles, in all dangers. He was with me. That's my confession. Please let it posted. Notify me as well once you post. I am in deep trouble. I don't know what to do. This is what I did, killing my own blood. Thank you so much, Extraordinary Africa, for the support. Thank you so much for sharing your stories with us. Thank you so much to the people who confessed. Sometimes in life, we learn from other people's mistakes. So I'd like to thank you so much for sharing your stories with us. We have learned. As I always say each and every day, let's teach our children to pray. Not killing like what these grandparents were doing. We need to teach our children to pray. We need to pray ourselves. Let's be always faithful to God. By so doing that, God will set us free from every bondage. Our daily verse for today is from Lamentations chapter 3, verse 22 to 23. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never comes to any end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Great is your faithfulness. We need to pray. We need to pray. Let's bring ourselves in the hands of the Almighty, the Creator of heaven and earth, the King of Kings. We bring ourselves closer to God by praying, fasting, doing good things to others. If someone is struggling, you see someone struggling in street, you have a jacket you are not wearing in your house, go and take that jacket. Give it to the person in the street. Why keeping such a jacket you're not wearing? So let's give, let's pray, let's fast all the time, because the devil is at work 24/7. Praying is not attending church services only. Doing good things. So that's what we need for this life. Thank you so much, listeners, for tuning in. Your extraordinary Africa is growing. May God, the creator of heaven and earth, bless you